Now, this is the second part, second act of the play, The Rivals. This is scene first. The setting is very simple. It is the lodging of Captain Absolute, who is the hero of the drama, of the play. Fag, who is the servant of Absolute. Sir, while I was there, Sir Anthony came in. Who is Anthony? The father of Absolute. I told him you had sent me to inquire after his health and to know if he was at leisure to see you. And what did he say on hearing I was at Bath? Actually, his father has also been informed that they are in Bath. Bath is the city. Sir, in my life, I never saw an elderly gentleman more astonished. He started back 2 or 3 paces, rapped out a dozen interjectural oaths, and asked what the devil had brought you here. So father was surprised that why his son was there in Bath. What was the purpose? Because he was in army. He was an officer in army. But the purpose, what was the purpose? He had come here to meet his beloved. Well, sir, and what did you say? Oh, I lied, sir. I forget the precise lie, but you may depend on it. He got no truth from me, yet with submission, for fear of blunders in future, I should be glad to fix what has brought us to Bath, in order that we may lie a little consistently. Sir Anthony's servants were curious, sir, very curious indeed. Fag is an intelligent servant. He can manipulate whatever he wants to say. You have said nothing to them? Oh, not a word, sir, not a word. Mr. Thomas, indeed, the coachman, whom I take to be the discreetest of whips. God's death, you rascal, you have not trusted him? Thomas and Fag discussion was there in the first act and first scene. Oh, no, sir, no, no, not a syllable upon my veracity. He was indeed a little inquisitive, but I was sly, sir, devilish sly. My master, said I, honest Thomas, you know, sir, one says honest to one's inferiors, is come to Bath to recruit. Yes, sir, I said to recruit. And whether for men, money, or constitution, you know, sir, is nothing to him nor anyone else. Actually, this is the discussion between Fag and his master, Captain Absolute. His father has already been informed that they are in Bath because he met with Thomas, the coachman of his father. So that's why he is sharing that he has informed his father. And what explanation he offered? Simply he said that Captain Absolute has come to Bath to recruit some people because he was officer. So in that way, he proved that they have come to an official duty, not for the other purpose. So he completely hid the actual matter that Captain Absolute had come to meet with Lydia Langvis. Absolute, well, recruit, will do. Let it be so. So at last he was ready that yes, that may be the good manipulation, that they will say that they have come to recruit the people if they are asked about their arrival to Bath. Oh, sir, recruit will do surprisingly indeed. To give the thing an air, I told Thomas that your honor had already enlisted 5 disbanded chairmen, 7 minority waiters, and 13 billiard markers. So these people were hired as per their discussion. No? But it was false. They have just lied that they have come on official duty to recruit the people, to enlist the people. You blockhead, never say more than is necessary. He is chiding his servant that why did you say like that you have come to recruit the people. I beg pardon, sir, I beg pardon, but with submission, a lie is nothing useless unless one supports it. Sir, whenever I draw on my invention for a good current lie, I always forgive endorsements as well as the bill. Well, take care you don't hurt your credit by offering too much security. Is Mr. Falkland returned? So now he has been curious about his friend, that did he return or not. Falkland and Captain Absolute both are good friends. He is above, sir, changing his dress. Can you tell whether he has been informed of Sir Anthony's and Miss Melville's arrival? Who is Melville? Julia Melville, who is the beloved of Falkland. And she is also the distant relative of Captain Absolute and Sir Anthony. So his father and Julia have come to Bath. So now Falkland should be informed also. I fancy not, sir. He has seen no one since he came in. But his gentleman who was with him at Bristol, I think, sir. I hear Mr. Falkland coming down. So he is living on stairs. So he is coming. Go, tell him I am here. Yes, sir. Going. I beg pardon, sir. But should Sir Anthony call you, you will do me the favor to remember that we are recruiting, if you please. So he also cautions him that when his father comes here, he must say him that they have come to recruit the people. Well, I will say likewise. And in tenderness to my character, if your honor could bring in the chairmen and waiters, I shall esteem it as an obligation. For though I never scruple a lie to serve my master, yet it hurts one's conscience to be found out. Although Fagg has spoken untruth to his father, so that's why he is afraid that when Sir Anthony will come and he will discover that Fagg was wrong actually. So that's why he manipulated and he said that his master, Sir Captain Absolute, being an officer in army, has come to recruit the people. It means he has come on his official duty, not to meet Lydia Languis. Absolute. Now for my whimsical friend, if he does not know what his mistress is here, I'll tease him a little before I tell him. So the friend of Captain Absolute, Mr. Falkland, comes here. Falkland, you are welcome to Bath again. You are punctual in your return. Falkland. Yes, I had nothing to detain me. When I had finished the business, I went on. Well, what news since I left you? How stand matters between you and Lydia? So just after meeting, Falkland is interested what happened with Lydia. Actually, she has quarreled with Captain Absolute. And after that quarrel, he hasn't met her. So now what is the position? What is the situation now? Faith, much as they were, I have not seen her since our quarrel. However, I expect to be recalled every hour. Although Lydia Languis has quarreled with Absolute, but still he is waiting. He may be called any time by Lydia Languis. And now he is waiting to be called. Why don't you persuade her to go off with you at once? It means he is suggesting his friend to run away with her. Why don't you run away with her? What? And lose 2/3 of her fortune? You forget that, my friend? No, I could have brought her to that long ago. But Absolute is not ready to run away with her, with his beloved Lydia Languis without the permission of the guardian. Because if they ran away without the permission of Mrs. Malapro, Lydia Languis will lose her property. No? Or in this way, she would be a poor person. So that's why Captain Absolute is not ready to elope with him without the permission of her guardian, Mrs. Malapro. So that's why he denies to his friend. Nay, then you trifle too long. If you are sure of her, propose to the aunt in your own character and write to Sir Anthony for his consent. So now he suggests that if you cannot do that, then in your own guise, as you are Captain Absolute, you should propose to the aunt of Lydia Languis so that she may be ready. And you should also inform your father that you wish to marry Lydia Languis. And that is the drama, no? That he has been loving him as Ensign Beverly and she is happy, but as Captain Absolute she will not be happy because he is very rich And Lydia Languis always wished to love with a person who is a poor person. And all same boy is there, the same girl is there, but the confusion is that they don't know each other clearly. That Captain Absolute and Vivaldi is the same person. Sir Anthony, that he has gone to settle the marriage proposal with Lydia Languis, he doesn't know. So that's why there is the problem. Softly, softly, for though I am convinced my little Lydia would elope with me as Ensign Beverly, yet I am by no means certain that she would take me with the impediment of our friend's consent, a regular humdrum bedding and a reversion of a good fortune on my side. No, no, I must prepare her gradually for the discovery and make myself necessary to her before I risk it. Captain Absolute knows very well that if he will present himself in his real face, she will not love him. So that's why he is not ready to uh, open this fact that actually he is absolute. He is acting like Ensign Beverly and she is happy. So that's why he is making her ready, gradually ready to discover the fact that he is the same person, Ensign Beverly and Sir Absolute. Falkland, indeed I cannot. I am not in a spirits to be of such a party. By heavens, I shall forswear your company. You are the most teasing, captious, irrecoverable lover. Do you love like a man? So Falkland, being a sincere person, he is a worthy boy. He is surprised of the behavior of his friend, that he is acting double role. So in this way, actually, he is cheating Lydia Languis, because he is not the Ensign Beverly. It is a fictitious character. Fictitious character means actually Ensign Beverly is not there in the society. It is not a real person. Actually, Absolute is Ensign Beverly. He is acting. He is actually befooling Lydia Languis so that she may be ready to love him. So that's why his friend is surprised. I own I am unfit for company, and he accepts. Am not I a lover? Yeah, and a romantic one too. Yet do I carry wherever with me such a confounded farrago of doubts, fears, hopes, wishes, and all the flimsy furniture of a country Mrs. Brain? So he is really a romantic person, a romantic hero, that he is loving as Ensign Beverly to a lady who likes him, and he is not ready to be presented himself as his real character and Sir Absolute, Captain Absolute. Ah, Jack, your heart and soul are not like mine, fixed immutably on one only subject. You throw for a large stake, but losing, you could stake and throw again. But I have set my sum of happiness on this cast, and not to succeed were to be stripped of all. But Falkland's character is quite different from that of his friend. Yeah, Absolute. He loves a lady and he wanted to love her in her real guise. He doesn't want to act something else. So he is a sincere lover. So sincerely he loves her beloved Julia. Who is Julia? Julia is the relative of his friend Absolute. Absolute. But for heaven's sake, what grounds for apprehension can your whimsical brain conjure up at present? What grounds for apprehension did you say? Heavens, are there not 1,000? I fear for her spirits, her health, her life. That is the meaning of his love. That if his beloved is okay, if she is healthy, then he is happy. That is the love. It means this is the real love actually. There is no love. Actually, they are befooling each other. Lydia Languis is herself befooling. My absence may fret her, her anxiety for my return, her fears for me may oppress her gentle temper, and for her health does not every hour bring me cause to be alarmed. So they love each other, and their well-being and safety is prime objective in their life. So in this way they love each other. If it rains, some shower may even then have chilled her delicate frame. If the wind be keen, some rude blast may have affected her. And he is over cautious, over anxious that she may not befall ill. So he should be healthy. That is his love. The heat of noon, the dews of the evening may endanger the life of her for whom only I value mine. O Jack, when delicate and feeling souls are separated, there is not a feature in the sky, not a movement of the elements, not an aspiration of the breeze, but hints some cause for a lover's apprehension. This is the love according to Falkland. So if they are healthy, he always wishes his beloved to be healthy, and this is care. He takes care of his beloved. Absolute, yeah, but we may choose whether we will take the hint or not. So then, Falkland, if you were convinced that Julia were well and in spirits, he would be entirely content. That was the question of Absolute. That if your beloved Julia is happy, if she is good in health, it means you are satisfied. I should be happy beyond measure. He accepts that this is the love for him. That if Julia is happy, if Julia is good in health, it means he takes care of her, and that's why he is satisfied now. I am anxious only for that. Then, to cure your anxiety at once, Miss Melville is in perfect health and is at moment in Bath. So your objective is only that she should be happy and healthy. So she is really happy and healthy, but now she is in Bath. Would you like to meet her? Nay, Jack, don't trifle with me. She is arrived here with my father within this hour. Can you be serious? Falkland is surprised. He takes care of his beloved, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to meet her. He would be happy to meet her. I thought you knew Sir Anthony better than to me to be surprised at a sudden whim of this kind. Seriously then, it is as I tell you upon my honor. So at last, after teasing some time, he clarifies that your friend Julia, she has come with my father just few hours before in Bath. My dear friend, hello, Dufin, my hat, my dear Jack. Now nothing on earth can give me a moment's uneasiness. So he wanted to meet his friend Julia. Interfact, the servant of Absolute. Sir, Mr. Akers just arrived is below. Who is Mr. Aker? This is Bob Akers, one of the friend of Absolute. These all three are friends. But again, here is manipulation. What is the manipulation? But Bob Akers is also the rival of Absolute, but they don't know each other. Lydia Language, with Lydia, he also wanted to marry. So he was also the competitor in the life of Jack Absolute, Captain Absolute. But they are unknown to this development. Bob Akers doesn't know that his friend Captain Absolute loves her, Lydia Language, in the form of Ensign Beverly. He doesn't know this fictitious character, that actually it is his friend Captain Absolute. They are quite unaware of the fact. So that's why they are rivals without knowing each other. But they are good friends. Absolute. Stay Falkland, this Akers lives within a mile of Sir Anthony, and he shall tell you how your mistress has been ever since you left her. Fag, show the gentleman up. So although Bob Akers is friend of Captain Absolute, so that's why he wanted to stop Falkland also, because Bob Akers lives just nearby Mr. Sir Anthony, where Julia lives. So he must say something about Julia Falkland. What is he much acquainted in the family? Oh, very intimate. I insist on your not going. Besides, his character will divert you. So be friendship. Develop friendship with my friend Bob Akers. Stay for a while. Falkland. Well, I should like to ask him a few questions. What about question? About his friend Julia. He is likewise a rival of mine, that is of my other selves, for he does not think his friend Captain Absolute ever saw the lady in question, and it is ridiculous enough to hear him captain to me of one Beverly, a concealed, a skulking rival, who, here he comes. So, Captain Absolute is quite aware that he is acting double role. In reality, he is Captain Absolute, but in fiction, he is Ensign Beverly that loves Lydia Languis. Bob Acres is also his rival, he knows very well. But Bob Acres doesn't know that Ensign Beverly is actually his own friend and it is a fictitious character. In reality, it is his friend Captain Absolute. He doesn't know. So that's why whenever Bob Acres comes and he shows animosity with Ensign Beverly because he is his competitor, he is his rival. At the same time, Bob Acres comes. Acres, my dear friend, noble captain, and honest Jack, how dost thou? Just arrive, faith, as you see. Sir, your humble servant, warm work on the roads, Jack, oats, whips, and wheels. I have travelled like a comet. Comet means it is just like a star that travels in the sky. So he has been travelling as comets, with a tail of dust all the way as long as the mall. Absolute. Bob, you are indeed an eccentric planet. Eccentric, it means cynical, just like a mad planet. But we know your attraction hither. Give me leave to introduce Mr. Falkland to you. Mr. Falkland, Mr. Acres. So now they are introduced to each other. This is my friend Falkland, and Falkland, this is my friend Bob Acres. Now these are three friends. Acres, sir, I am most heartily glad to see you, sir. I solicit your connections. Hey, Jack, what this is Mr. Falkland, who? Absolute. Yeah, Bob, Miss Millville's Mr. Falkland's. So Bob Acre is not acquainted in that way that he is my friend Falkland, who is the friend of Julia, my relative. Odds so, she and your father can be just arrive before me. So Acre is also aware that Sir Anthony with his relative niece Julia, they have come here in Bath and any time they may visit this house. Acres. Mr. Falkland, you are indeed a happy man. Falkland, I have not seen Miss Millville yet, sir. I hope she enjoyed full health and spirit in Devonshire. Falkland is always anxious about his friend Julia, that she must be happy, she must be healthy. That is his only prime objective. Acres, never knew her better in my life, sir. Never better. So even he is asking the well-being of his friend Julia. Odds, blushes and blooms, she has been as healthy as the German Spa. So that